Hi, welcome to number 2 of the Tech COO Conversations. My name is Elizabeth Mulhall and I'm here today with Jessica Maree from Accenture and also from the Board of Vic ICT Women and the Director of the Mentorship Mentoring Program. Welcome, Jess.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Worries. I'm just going to kick off with just, I guess, probably the most pertinent question on everyone's mind at the moment with everything that's happened with COVID-19 and people now moving out of lockdown. How have you found that the use of technology has impacted the mentoring program during this time, and what impact do you think it will have going forward?
Yeah, well, fortunately, this environment hasn't really impacted our program at all. It's been really good actually to see that the mentors and mentees have been able to use the technology available like Zoom and these other video conferencing tools that are available. So what we did though is we reached out and offered them some support in setting that up, but yeah, it's been really great to see that they've just flicked it over to a virtual environment, and the mentors and mentees have been able to still maintain that relationship and that connection. The conversation has changed obviously with where things are. The mentors and mentees have to refine their goals and look at what the changes in the industry are presented, but really in terms of the program itself and the capability of mentoring, it's really thriving at the moment, and it's really, really great to see.
Oh, that's fantastic. And do you think that now that people are sort of used to working virtually or having these conversations online, do you think that this opens up new opportunities potentially internationally for mentoring programs? Because often it's been, within my circle or my network or someone that works in the next building. Do you think there will be opportunities to seek out people in other industries globally?
Yeah, definitely. So we've actually explored opening up mentor programs nationally and internationally. So last year we had a mentee from Sydney and a mentee from South Africa join our program.
Amazing.
And we thought we'd trial it and see how that worked. And the feedback we got was extraordinary. I mean, what we did was we chatted to them firstly, to the mentors around if they were up for managing a relationship virtually, and these days it's not a big deal because a lot of us in our workplaces use video conferencing, and we do sometimes deal with businesses whether internally externally using video conferencing. So it wasn't a huge issue, but I suppose we were more concerned about how we would facilitate that and maintain the services that we promised the mentors and mentees, if interstate or internationally. And I suppose I forgot to mention earlier around how we're still maintaining those services outside of the mentor-mentee relationship is we're running virtual events. So outside of COVID, we used to run our informal breakfasts and after work drinks or workshops at some of our sponsor sites. But what we've been able to do is still offer those events, but doing them virtually just through a means like this, which has been really great. So this will then strengthen that opportunity to provide the mentor program internationally and nationally, because if we still provide the virtual events, even post lockdowns and restrictions and when everything's business as usual, then we can still offer those virtual events, and we can then expand our cohort for international mentees.
That's really exciting, and I know that you work obviously quite heavily in the world of tech, both professionally and in what you do in terms of on the board, etc. And there's been a lot of talk in the media about sort of this kind of driving forward the digital revolution. Do you think that this will increase, I suppose, the importance of embracing technology, not just from a mentoring perspective, but also just from an everyday workplace perspective? So, and what I mean by that is there's almost no place to hide anymore. If you want to be at the forefront of what industries are doing, you need to be embracing new technology, and that includes things like working online.
Yes, definitely. And I definitely, believe it's opened up more opportunities. So people who, would consider, working abroad or interstate, whether they're willing to have those conversations with their employees about still working in their home state or their home country. In this environment, we're all forced to work from home. Then it's a way to prove that we're still capable of doing our job, whether we're at home or in the office. And I know from my personal experience, I worked interstate. Every day I used to fly in and out from home to interstate, and I think about that situation now, and I think, it would still be doable. We would still be as productive or even more if we were working from home, because it obviously cuts out a lot of that travel time and expenses with flights and things like that. Going back to your question, I think this really gives us opportunities to look at our choices of where to work and how we want to work, which is exciting and about time too. Working in the tech industry, we've been seeing this for a long time. So, it shouldn't have been a COVID that had to make us realise that that's available.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And I think, especially working in the tech industry, it gets sometimes frustrating when you know that there's this tech out there, but people still hang on to old ways of working. What do you see, I suppose, as the future of technology in mentoring as we go forward?
So there's a couple of things. I was thinking earlier around how we can use technology to support the expansion of our program. So we get a lot of inquiries, and we've looked at starting at different times or running two cohorts at the same time, and there was always a concern about how we manage that. So this has given us an opportunity to look at some new technologies around supporting that. We trialled a technology a couple of years ago to provide a matching algorithm for our mentors and mentees, which worked but didn't work. So this gives us an opportunity to look at what else is out there and whether we could pick that up again. And how we could make the program more sustainable as we expand using different technologies. So yes, definitely want to explore that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just finally, I suppose, is there any final tips or anything that you'd like to say about people wanting to embrace mentoring and the importance that it has, particularly in the tech industry when things move so rapidly and so quickly?
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about this before. So it's so important, especially at this time and any time, but especially at this time because you're not always, in the workplace, and you're not naturally around people that you may have thought were guiding you or you could bounce back ideas with. So this is a time where mentoring is really important, and using a program like ours where we match you up with mentors, or you can come to some of the virtual events and share and talk to some of the mentors and mentees that are part of the program. It's really important. So please, if you are interested, look us up and get involved, because it's really important to still have a focus on your career and still maintain those connections as well.
That's fantastic. Thanks very much, Jess. And I'll put all of Jess's information in the post and in the post online, not the old snail mail. And thanks so much for your time. And I look forward to continuing to work with you outside of this, but also see more of you through LinkedIn and our various platforms.
Great. Thanks. See you soon.